spent our teenage summers under stadium bleachers, ignoring all the warnings from our worried school teachers. We drank cheap soda from aluminum cans, making grand, unrealistic and magnificent plans. You had a skateboard with the graphics worn off, laughing at the future with the arrogant scoff. We carved our initials in the gymnasium floor, believing that our innocence would last evermore. But adolescence vanishes like smoke from a match, leaving only memories that we cannot reattach. The graduation ceremony came and it went, and all that sovereign energy was permanently spent. I see you working now behind a corporate desk, your wild hair tamed into something picturesque. We traded our rebellion for a steady paycheck, leaving the remains of our adventure a wreck. The yearbook is collecting mildew in a box, and time has picked the tumblers of our secret combination locks. We squandered our potential on a beautiful illusion, losing all our clarity in a adult confusion. Oh, we are mourning for our wasted youth tonight, the years we threw away without a single proper fight. We ran head first into a calculated trap, losing all the coordinates on our juvenile map. Yeah, the calendar was stealing while we looked the other way. I found an old mixtape in the glove compartment tray, with songs we used to scream along to every single day. The tape is warped from the heat of July, just like the confidence they used to glorify our sky. I remember when we swore we would never grow old or conform to the expectations that this society sold. But the system is a grinder that is heavy and slow, crushing all the impulses that we used to show. You don't wear your leather jacket anymore, it's hanging in the closet by the basement pantry door. You speak in vocabulary that is clinical and dry, without a single spark of rebellion in your eye. We became the very citizens we used to despise, with calculated answers and conventional ties. The playground is a parking lot of bitumen and stone, where we sit inside our vehicles completely alone. The yearbook is collecting mildew in a box, and time has picked the tumblers of our secret combination locks. We squandered our potential on a beautiful illusion, losing all our clarity in a adult confusion. Oh, we are mourning for our wasted youth tonight, the years we threw away without a single proper fight. Oh, we ran head first into a calculated trap, losing all the coordinates on our juvenile map. Yeah, the calendar was stealing while we looked the other way. Inside your sluggish brain, but the energy is missing and the vocal cords are tired, and the wild imagination is permanently expired. We are just two adults paying mortgage and rent, regretting every single moment that we casually misspent. Young hearts, old smarts, the years we threw away without a single proper fight. Oh, we ran head first into a calculated trap, losing all the coordinates on our juvenile map. Yeah, the calendar was stealing while we looked the other way. You fade no thunder or a lightning display, just a heavy gray canopy obscuring the day. The leaves on the maple trees are turning upside down, a silent alert to the citizens of this town. We sit in the parlor without turning on the lamp, as the air in the residence grows heavy and damp. You are folding your laundry with a meticulous care, ignoring the electrical tension in the air. A loud argument would be a welcome relief to break the momentum of this gathering grief. But we speak in low whispers like we are inside a church, while our emotional stability is left on a perch. The rain starts to fall, but it doesn't make a sound as it absorbs into the dry, unyielding ground. A stealthy disaster that has taken its time to erode the foundations of our youth sublime. The barometric pressure is crushing our chest, and the internal anxiety will not let us rest. We are waiting for the deluge to wash us away from the silent battlefield of this ordinary day. We are weathering a quiet storm inside this apartment tonight, fighting a battle without a visible light. The destruction is subtle, but the impact is deep, infiltrating the dreams that we have when we sleep. Yeah, the flooding is gradual, but the water is high. I watch a single drop track down the window pane, a miniature river of the silent summer rain. It doesn't rattle the glass or make a dramatic scene, it just creates a barrier that settles between your side of the table and the sector I claim, as we silently assign the institutional blame for the slow expiration of the passion we fed without a single aggressive syllable being said. The carpet is soaking from the moisture below, where the hidden underground springs begin to overflow. The mold is accumulating behind the drywall sheets, a secret decay that the architecture meets. We pretend everything is structurally sound and secure, while we watch the deterioration that we have to endure. A silent catastrophe under a domestic roof, where the lack of communication is the ultimate proof. The barometric pressure is crushing our chest, and the internal anxiety will not let us rest. We are waiting for the deluge to wash us away from the silent battlefield of this ordinary day. We are weathering a quiet storm inside this apartment tonight, fighting a battle without a visible light. The destruction is subtle, but the impact is deep, infiltrating the dreams that we have when we sleep. Yeah, the flooding is gradual, but the water is high. Open the floodgates, let the torrents expand, drown the remains of this fabricated land. But the downpour is muffled and the energy is low, and the internal rivers are sluggish and slow. So we sit in the dampness as the ceilings cave in, absorbing the consequences of our quiet sin. Drip, drop, it won't stop. Submerged, submerged. Oh, we are weathering a quiet storm inside this apartment tonight, fighting a battle without a visible light. The destruction is subtle, but the impact is deep, infiltrating the dreams that we have when we sleep. Yeah, the flooding is gradual, but the water is high. Silent rain, drowning pain, deluge. An old album sits upon the dusty wooden shelf, a portrait of a boy who looks a bit like myself, beside a girl with ribbons in her tangled golden hair, sitting on a blanket in the middle of the square. The colors have all shifted into shades of pale and gray, like chemical reactions washing memories away. I trace the silver outline of your unforgettable face, stuck inside a pocket of a long forgotten place. The Polaroid camera made a clicking sort of noise back when we were playing with our favorite childhood toys. We waited for the image to develop in the sun, counting all the seconds until everything was done. The chemical solution captured moments in a flash before our little kingdom came to crumble in a crash. Now look at how the edges are beginning to unglue, just like the connection that I shared along with you. The lens was cracked, but we could see the future pretty clear. We didn't know the definition of a sudden fear, but exposure to the sunlight makes the image disappear. Look at these faded photos hanging on the bedroom wall, reminding us of times before we learned how we could fall. The smiles are getting blurry and the background starts to bleed. We lost the very map that we so desperately need. Yeah, the pictures fade away, but the shadows always stay. I found another snapshot in the pocket of my coat, wrapped around a tiny and a handwritten short note. You said you would love me till the oceans all went dry, but oceans turned to deserts and the clouds deserted sky. The camera never lies, but it omits the painful part. It doesn't show the cracking of a heavy human heart. It only shows the laughter and the sunshine on the beach, while keeping all the misery far out of human reach. I try to remember what you said right before the click. The memory is playing like a cruel and wicked trick. The audio is missing, though the visual remains. A gallery of pleasure that is shielding all the pains. The chemical emotion is decaying on the sheet, while I am walking lonely down the suffocating street. If I could take another shot, I'd change the focal length to see if our relationship possessed a greater strength. The lens was cracked, but we could see the future pretty clear. We didn't know the definition of a sudden fear, but exposure to the sunlight makes the image disappear. Look at these faded photos hanging on the bedroom wall, reminding us of times before we learned how we could fall. The smiles are getting blurry and the background starts to bleed. We lost the very map that we so desperately need. Yeah, the pictures fade away, but the shadows always stay. So hard to prove, but a photograph is static. It can never change its mind, leaving all the explanations somewhere far behind. Shake the picture, wait for light, hope it turns out fine, but you cannot rewrite the script of your life. in mine. Just a ghost in a frame. I barely know your name. Look at these faded photos hanging on the bedroom wall, reminding us of times before we learned how we could fall. The smiles are getting blurry and the background starts to bleed. We lost the very map that we so desperately need. Yeah, the pictures fade away, but the shadows always stay, fading out without a doubt. Click. We constructed a residence out of transparent sheets, overlooking the traffic of the municipal streets. We wanted the world to witness our architectural grace, believing we inhabited a flawless, immaculate space. There were no brick walls or curtains to hide the daily operations that occurred inside. But transparency is dangerous when you have secrets to keep, and the structural integrity was incredibly cheap. You threw a heavy porcelain mug across the living room zone, and the impact shattered a structural silica cone. A spiderweb fracture expanded across the front wall, a terrifying indicator of our impending total fall. We are living in an environment where you shouldn't throw stones, but we are launching projectiles that are fracturing bones. The illusion of perfection is beginning to crack, and there is no glazier who can put the pieces back. The foundation is splintering under the acoustic strain, and the roof is leaking from the heavy summer rain. We are exposed to the elements and the public gaze, trapped inside a greenhouse of our departed days. We are shattering our glass houses into tiny shards today, watching our privacy wash completely away. Transparency we worship is the weapon of our doom, creating a display case out of a domestic room. Yeah, the fragments are sharp and they are cutting the heart. I see the neighbors gathering along the pavement perimeter line, watching the spectacular destruction of your world and mine. We are a public exhibition, a free entertainment show for the curious citizens who live in the valley below. Oh, they watch you pack your suitcase through the transparent floor, and they witness my desperation as I stand by the door. There is no dignity left in this architectural mistake, just a pile of silica that we managed to break. I sweep up the remnants with a plastic bristle broom, but the splinters are scattered throughout every single room. They embed themselves deeply in the soles of my feet, a physical punishment that is thoroughly complete. We wanted to be honest, we wanted to be clear, but the exposure generated a paralyzing fear. We should have built with timber, a solid granite block, instead of this material that cannot handle a shock. The foundation is splintering under the acoustic strain, and the roof is leaking from the heavy summer rain. We are exposed to the elements and the public gaze, trapped inside a greenhouse of our departed days. We are shattering our glass houses into tiny shards today, watching our privacy wash completely away. The transparency we worship is the weapon of our doom, creating a display case out of a domestic room. Yeah, the fragments are sharp, and they are cutting the heart. Oh, smash the ceiling, obliterate the remaining pain. Let the environment collapse under the internal strain. We don't require protection if the honesty's dead. We don't require a shelter for the things we left unsaid. Let the shards tumble down like a crystalline shower, ending our residency at this final hour. Crack, snap, watch it fall. Nothing. We are shattering our glass houses into tiny shards today, watching our privacy, watching our privacy wash completely away. The transparency we worship is the weapon of our doom, creating a display case out of a domestic room. Yeah, the fragments are sharp, and they are cutting the heart. Silicon dust, broken trust. Silicon dust, broken trust. Silicon dust, silicon dust, broken trust. Clear. You wear long sleeves even when the weather is warm, to hide the physical evidence of your internal storm. You don't like to talk about the history you carry, or the monsters in your childhood that were terrifyingly scary. I watch you navigate the kitchen with the cautious precision, like every single movement was a life-altering decision. You protect your vulnerabilities behind a high stone wall, terrified that if you stumble you will permanently fall. I have my own trauma buried deep in my chest, a heavy metal anchor that will never let me rest. From the time my father walked out on the family home, leaving us to navigate the wilderness alone. We are two damaged individuals trying to survive, using all our energy just to stay alive. But proximity is difficult when touch causes pain, and every conversation is an emotional strain. The bandages are dirty, but we refuse to look below at the deep lacerations that we never dare to show. We are treating our symptoms with a temporary band, too terrified of surgery to let our person understand. We are examining our hidden scars in the mirror today, wishing we could wash the history completely away. The tissue is healed, but the sensitivity remains, a silent ledger of our unacknowledged pains. Yeah, the surface looks smooth, but the damage is deep. You flinch when I try to brush the hair from your eyes, an involuntary reflex that you try to disguise as a casual gesture or a sneeze in the air. But I recognize the symptoms of a deep-seated despair. We are like soldiers returning from an undeclared war, who don't know what they are fighting for anymore. The weapons are put away, but the paranoia stays, governing the conduct of our ordinary days. I found a bottle of sedatives behind the vanity glass, a chemical assistance to make the long evenings pass. You take them in secrecy before you go to bed, to quiet all the arguments that occur inside your head. I don't judge your coping mechanisms, because I have my own. A bottle of whiskey that I consume when I am alone. We are self-medicating to survive the night, hoping that the morning will make everything right. The bandages are dirty, but we refuse to look below at the deep lacerations that we never dare to show. We are treating our symptoms with a temporary band, too terrified of surgery to let a person understand. We are examining our hidden scars in the mirror today, wishing we could wash the history completely away. The tissue is healed, but the sensitivity remains, a silent ledger of our unacknowledged pains. Yeah, the surface looks smooth, but the damage is deep. I walk along the perimeter of the industrial district zone, underneath the orange sodium lamps, entirely alone. The asphalt is shimmering from the recent autumn shower, and the municipal clock tower strikes the midnight hour. I pass the storefronts with their iron grills pulled down tight, a bleak urban landscape in the middle of the night. I remember when we strolled here, holding hands in the spring, before our affection became a completely disposable thing. The alleyways are cluttered with debris and discarded crates, a geographical reflection of our unfortunate separate fates. I see my breath condensing in the chilly morning air as I search for your shadow in the public market square. But the citizens are strangers with their collars pulled up high, averting their gazes as they hurry quickly by. We used to own this neighborhood, we knew every single lane, but now it's just a maze that is amplifying my pain. The city planning commission didn't design this grid for love, and the smoke is accumulating in the sky up above. We are navigating avenues that have forgotten our name, and the environment around us will never feel the same. We are wandering these lonely streets under a foggy sky, searching for the reasons why our connection had to die. The concrete is unforgiving and the avenues are wide, leaving no location where our broken hearts can hide. Yeah, the metropolitan pavement is a cold place to sleep. I found a graffiti drawing on the brick warehouse wall that we painted together right before the final four. The spray paint is flaking and the colors are obscure, a visual reminder of a bond they couldn't endure. A police cruiser passes with its sirens flashing blue, an intrusive interruption to my memories of you. I turned down a side street to avoid the flashing light, disappearing further into the shadows of the night. The subway station entrance is a gaping concrete maw, sucking in the workers under the municipal law. I look down the staircase, but I cannot find the strength to traverse the underground system for its total linear length. I prefer the surface even if the wind is biting cold, because the subterranean tunnels make me feel incredibly old. I am a pedestrian without a destination or a home connection. cold place to sleep. Oh, oh. Cross the intersection, ignore the pedestrian sign. Do something to bridge the gap between your world and mine. But the traffic is relentless and the engines are too loud, and your figure is swallowed by the rushing morning crowd. So I stand on the curb while the city rushes past, realizing that the isolation is permanent at last. Walk, don't walk, no more talk, lost. We are wandering these lonely streets, under a foggy sky, searching for the reasons why our connection had to die. The concrete is unforgiving and the avenues are wide, leaving no location where our broken hearts get high. Yeah, the metropolitan pavement is a cold place to sleep. Dark, dark, dark lanes, urban pains gone. I stood upon the pier, watching the cargo vessels depart, with a heavy nautical compass navigating my heart. You boarded a cruise ship that was headed for the west, to seek a destination where your spirit could find rest. The gap between the hull and the timber grew wide as the vessel was captured by the incoming tide. Your white handkerchief was a speck in the gray before the ocean mistook the vision away. Now I am writing letters that will take weeks to arrive to an overseas address where you are trying to thrive. You send me postcards of palm trees and tropical sand, a stark contrast to this cold and muddy northern land. The geography is vast and the time zones don't align. When it is midnight in your world, it is morning in mine. We are trying to maintain a thread across the sea, but the distance is eroding our common history. The salt water is eating at the cables of our love, and the communication satellites are failing up above. We are two separate islands in an infinite blue, losing all the coordinates that connected me to you. We are standing on distant shores, looking out at the main, divided by an ocean of geography and pain. The horizon is a barrier that we cannot cross today, washing all the closeness of our previous life away. Yeah, the water is deep and the promises are hard to keep. I check the maritime tracking application on my device to see your vessel navigating through the northern ice. You were thousands of nautical miles from this room, living in a climate where different flowers bloom. I wonder if the ocean air has altered your voice, or if your relocation was a permanent choice. I look at the map on my living room wall, realizing that my world is incredibly small. The lighthouse on the cliff throws a rotating beam, an artificial guide for a sailor's broken dream, but it cannot illuminate the space between our souls or repair the damage of our conflicting goals. You are chasing a career in a metropolitan state, while I'm stuck here bargaining with provincial fate. The continental shelf is a physical divide that mirrors the alienation that we cultivate inside. The salt water is eating at the cables of our love, and the communication satellites are failing of our previous life away. Yeah, the water is deep and the promises are hard to keep. Too strong and the distance is too vast, and our physical endurance is failing us at last. So we stand on the beaches at opposite ends of the earth, mourning the relationship that gave us our worth. Lost at sea, you and me, that we cannot cross today, washing all the closeness of our previous life away. The water is deep and the promises are hard to keep. Tides roll, vessel afloat. Tides roll, vessel afloat. You held a camel hairbrush and a palette full of gold, creating a landscape that was wondrous to behold. You brushed away the blemishes, the anger and the grease, replacing all our arguments with images of peace. I stood behind your easel in the chilly basement flat, admiring how you hid the stains upon the welcome mat. We manufactured happiness with pigment and with oil to cover up the toxicity inside our native soil. The canvas was a barrier against the outside storm, where we pretended everything was cozy, safe and warm. You drew a perfect family beside a roaring fire, concealing all the boundaries of your unfulfilled desire. But varnish cannot stabilize a structural decay, and turpentine will dissolve the finest display. The portrait started cracking when the humidity arose, exposing all the misery under your graceful pose. Pigment is peeling from the fabric of our trust, and all your golden highlights are transforming into rust. We spend our energy on making the illusions look so bright, instead of fixing problems in the middle of the night. We are staring at these painted lies, hanging on the frame, hiding all the ugliness that we refuse to name. Found your old sketchbooks in a wooden storage chest, containing all the charcoal drawings you had suppressed. The raw sketches revealed a very different state of mind, a darker narrative that you had purposefully aligned. There were no happy meadows or a shining sunny beach, just desperate figures reaching out for things beyond their reach. I realized then that honesty was something you eschewed, preferring a depiction that was elegantly glued. I walk around the gallery of our departed years and notice how the watercolor matches with my tears. The exhibition is closed now, but the inventory stays, a catalog of falsity that occupied our days. You were a clever artist, but you couldn't couldn't paint a heart that stayed together when the reality tore it apart. The frame is splintering under the atmospheric weight, a tragic exhibition of our artificial fate. The pigment is peeling from the fabric of our trust, and all your golden highlights are transforming into rust. We spend our energy on making the illusions look so bright, instead of fixing problems in the middle of the night. We are staring at these painted lies, hanging on the frame, hiding all the ugliness that we refuse to name. The colors are bleeding and the perspective is wrong. We lived inside an artwork that didn't belong. Yeah, the masterpiece is ruined and the illusion is gone. Smear the acrylics, slice the linen cloth in two. There is no longer a requirement to paint a picture of you. The gallery is empty and the patrons have all fled. We are just two models whose relationship is dead. Throw away the brushes, spill the solvent on the floor, because we are not posing for each other anymore. Strip the paint, see the scar. Who we are, we are staring at these painted lies, hanging on the frame, hiding all the ugliness that we refuse to name. The colors are bleeding and the perspective is wrong. We lived inside an artwork that didn't belong. Yeah, the masterpiece is ruined and the illusion is gone. Fading shades, beauty fades, blank. The station platform flashes underneath the neon sign. A dozen sleepy passengers are standing in a line. I bought a one-way ticket to a city in the north to flee the situation that was going back and forth. The steam is rising slowly from the belly of the beast. This midnight cold is blowing from the valleys of the east. I look across my shoulder at the city lights behind, with 100 contradictions rolling heavy through my mind. You were sleeping on the mattress when I packed my leather case. I didn't leave a message in that suffocating place. The engine gave a whistle like a signal of distress. A metal roar to pull me from this complicated mess. The conductor waves a lantern and the iron wheels rotate, a heavy movement forcing us to compromise with fate. The scenery is vanishing into a sea of black, and there is no mechanic who can put us on the track. The diesel smoke is filling up the chambers of my chest, a traveling companion on this solitary quest. We accelerated quickly, but we headed for a crash. Now our beautiful connection is a pile of burned ash. We are riding on the midnight trains, leaving ghosts behind, trying to escape the thoughts that paralyze the mind. The tracks go on forever through the darkness and the rain, but motion doesn't mitigate the presence of the pain. No fast locomotive cannot outrun the regret. I watch my own reflection in the dirty window pane, juxtaposed against the drops of heavy summer rain. The passengers around me are all staring at their phone, a congregation of the lost who prefer to be alone. The rhythm of the metal rails is hypnotic to the ear, drummed away my reservation fee. I wonder if you woke up yet and noticed I was gone, or if you'll only realize when you see the morning dawn. The conductor checks my ticket with a sympathetic glance. He knows that people on this coach are running from romance. We are a collection of the broken and the bruised, who chose to be abandoned rather than to be abused. The next stop is a junction where the tracks begin to split, a geographical expression of the way that we just quit. I could switch to another line and head back to your arms, but my intuition warns me of the volatile alarms. The diesel smoke is filling up the chambers of my chest, a traveling companion on this solitary quest. We accelerated quickly, but we headed for a crash. Now our beautiful connection is a pile of burned ash. We are riding on the midnight trains, leaving ghosts behind, trying to escape the thoughts that paralyze the mind. The tracks go on forever through the darkness and the rain, but motion doesn't mitigate the presence of the pain. No fast locomotive cannot outrun the regret. Ooh. Oh. Click, pace, track, change, speed up the pace. Get me far away from the memory of your face. The whistle is a scream that echoes through the mountain pass as we shatter every illusion like a sheet of fragile glass. You can pull the emergency brake, but it's too late to stall. The locomotive is moving, and it's gonna take it all. Chug, chug, chug. The engine sighs as the city dies. We are riding on the midnight trains, leaving ghosts behind, trying to escape the thoughts that paralyze the mind. The tracks go on forever through the darkness and the rain, but motion doesn't mitigate the presence of the pain. No, a fast locomotive cannot outrun the regret. Midnight train, wash the pain, God. The hallway carpet dampens every footstep that I take. I listen for a sound to prove that I am still awake. The grandfather clock is ticking, but the pendulum is slow, a steady rhythmic pulse that watches hours come and go. Your winter coat is missing from the hook behind the door, and dust is settling softly on the hardwood parlor floor. I remember how your laughter used to bounce against the wall before the shadow of the winter came to change it all. I sit upon the mattress in the corner of space and try to reconstruct the faint expression on your face. The window pane is frosted with a delicate design, an icy barrier between your world and mine. There are no echoes traveling across the empty hall, just heavy drapes that smother every whisper, large or small. We used to talk until the morning sun began to rise, but now the stillness is a blanket covering our eyes. The furniture is covered up in sheets of ghostly white. graveyard of conversations, buried in the night. We spent our energy on building walls instead of bridges here, until the noise of loneliness was all that we could hear. Now we are living in these silent rooms, trapped inside our minds, searching for a trace of love that neither of us finds. The architecture of our youth is crumbling to stone. We share a roof, but technically we are completely alone. Yeah, the silence is a weapon that is cut into the bone. I found a coffee mug you left upon the kitchen countertop, with dark stains at the bottom where the liquid had to stop. A physical reminder of a morning routine shared before we reached the point where neither person really cared. The refrigerator hums a low and melancholy tune beneath the silver glare of a July afternoon. I touch the handle gently, but I do not open wide. There's nothing left to nourish the starvation deep inside. The neighbors think we moved away because there is no light, illuminating windows in the middle of the night. We sit in darkness, saving on the electricity bill, as if a cheaper lifestyle could cure a mental ill. The floorboards do not creak because we walk so very light, like thieves inside a museum, escaping from the side. We perfected the behavior of a pair of quiet ghosts, destroying everything that we previously loved the most. Furniture is covered up in sheets of ghostly white, a graveyard of conversations, buried in the night. We spent our energy on building walls instead of bridges here, until the noise of loneliness was all that we could hear. Now we are living in these silent rooms, trapped inside our minds, searching for a trace of love that neither of us finds. The architecture of our youth is crumbling to stone. We share a roof, but technically we are completely alone. Yeah, the silence is a weapon that is cut into the bone. Speak up, scream out, break a porcelain plate, do something to accelerate the turning of our fate. I'd rather hear an argument than nothingness at all. I'd rather watch the ceiling come and crush us as we fall, but you just stare ahead into the middle of the air, with a paralyzed expression of a thorough, deep despair. Shh, listen close. It's the sound of nothing left. Now we are living in these silent rooms, trapped inside our minds, searching for a trace of love that neither of us finds. The architecture of our youth is crumbling to stone. We share a roof, but technically we are completely alone. Yeah, the silence is a weapon that is cutting to the bone. Just a silent room, a quiet tune. Hush, hush. I shouted out your name into the canyon deep and wide, hoping for an answer from the solitary side. But the landscape was indifferent to the misery I felt, and the frosty mountain ridges refused to ever melt. The sound of my own voice came bouncing back into my ear, a mockery of passion that was twisted by my fear. You left without a warning on a Tuesday afternoon, leaving a vacant apartment that was cleared out way too soon. The tiles in the bathroom multiply the dripping faucet sound, the water repercussion while I stare up on the ground. Every statement that we made inside this residential space is bouncing off the plaster without leaving any trace. We used to fill the structure with our arguments and cheers, but the frequency is altered over consecutive years. Now the vibration is a hollow and a terrifying thing, like a broken copper bell that has forgotten how to ring. We built a sanctuary out of promises and stone, but the structural integrity has left us both alone. The cavities are wide and the foundations are insecure, and there is no remedy that can make this love endure. We are chasing hollow echoes in an empty corridor, listening for the footsteps that don't walk here anymore. The words have lost their substance, but the noises staying loud. A ghostly congregation like a solitary crowd. Yeah, the resonance remains, reminding us of pains. I walked into the valley where we carved our monogram before the river flooded and destroyed the wooden dam. The gorge is full of boulders that have tumbled from the peak, crushing all the flowers that were delicate and weak. I spoke into the cavern just to test the acoustic grace, but the replication process was an absolute disgrace. It distorted all the meaning of the phrases that I chose, turning a confession into a parade of woes. The telephone is silent, but the static is alive, a technological reminder that our bond did not survive. I listened to old voicemails that you recorded on your device when your tone was full of honey before it turned to ice. The digital compression makes your laughter sound so strange, a robotic variation that emphasizes the change. I disconnect the line because the feedback is too intense, an auditory punishment that defies all common sense. We built a sanctuary out of promises and stone, but the structural integrity has left us both alone. The cavities are wide and the foundations are insecure, and there is no remedy that can make this love endure. We are chasing hollow echoes in an empty corridor, listening for the footsteps that don't walk here anymore. The words have lost their substance, but the noises staying loud. A ghostly congregation like a solitary crowd. Yeah, the resonance remains, reminding us of pain. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Screaming louder, let it bounce against the granite wall. Watch the sonic wave expand before it starts to fall. You cannot fill a vacuum with a fabricated shout. You cannot light a fire when the oxygen is out. The acoustic properties of this relationship are dead, and I am drowning in the feedback of the things you said. Hello? Is anyone there? No. We are chasing hollow echoes in an empty corridor, listening for the footsteps footsteps that don't walk here anymore. The words have lost their substance, but the noises staying loud. A ghostly congregation like a solitary crowd. Yeah, the residence remains, reminding us of pain. Echoes fade, debts unpaid. Silence. We built a castle out of cardboard boxes in the yard, and swore that we would guard it like a royal palace guard. We gathered plastic jewels and we placed them on our brow, believing we were monarchs who would never disavow the promises we whispered in the safety of the dark, before the glowing embers turned into a dangerous spark. You wore a golden circlet made of yellow painted wire, shining like a beacon by our little campfire. But sovereignty is heavy for a pair of fragile kids. We closed our eyes tightly underneath our heavy lids. The rain began to fall and made the cardboard turn to mud. The royal tapestry was washed away by summer flood. Your coronet was twisted when you dropped it on the stone, and suddenly I realized that I was all alone. The kingdom that we'd fancied was a figment of deceit, as royalty lay bleeding on the cobblestone street. The throne is empty and the kingdom has completely fallen down. There is no ceremony left within this haunted town. We are just two beggars who are searching for a town. We are wearing broken crowns made of vanity and pride, hiding all the secrets that we keep so deep inside. The gold is flaking off and showing rust beneath the gleam. We woke up from the nightmare of a majestic dream. Heavy is the head that wears a broken crown today. I see you walking nowadays without your royal stride. The majesty has vanished and you have nowhere to hide. Your shoulders are bent low beneath the weight of your regret, paying off a massive and an unforgiven debt. We thought we were superior to citizens below, but kings can also stumble when the heavy blizzards blow. The scepter that you carried is a broken piece of wood. You didn't rule the empire the way you said you would. The palace walls have crumbled into piles of grey debris. There is no royal navy sailing out upon the sea. We are just ordinary people stripped of all our titles now, forced to face reality and make a final bow. The court jester is laughing at the tragedy we made, as all the vibrant colors of our coronation fade. A monarchy of madness built on shifting desert sand. We lost our total grip upon the promise of the land. The throne is empty and the kingdom has completely fallen down. There is no ceremony left within this haunted town. We are just two beggars who are searching for a town. We are wearing broken crowns made of vanity and pride, hiding all the secrets that we keep so deep inside. The gold is flaking off and showing rust beneath the gleam. We woke up from the nightmare of a majestic dream. Heavy is the head the herd. Long live the king, that's what they used to sing, but it doesn't mean that we are wearing broken crowns made of vanity and pride, hiding all the secrets that we keep so deep inside. The gold is flaking off and showing rust beneath the gleam. We woke up from the nightmare of a majestic dream. Heavy is the head that wears a broken crown today. Drop the crown, watch it tumble down, oh, to the ground. The thermometer plummeted below the 0 mark when we were walking slowly through the residential park. We zipped our heavy parkas up against the northern breeze, watching our breath crystallize above the frozen trees. The wool was a barrier that kept the warmth inside, but also served to complicate the feelings we would hide. We looked like two astronauts exploring outer space, insulated completely from each other's embrace. You wore a thick scarf that covered up your chin, preventing any syllables from escaping within. The buttons were massive and the fabric was so dense, a textile variation of a defensive picket fence. We held hands through our mittens, but we couldn't feel the skin. An artificial contact where no passion could begin. The winter was an excuse to keep our distance justified, while the true emotional frostbite was happening inside. The blizzard is howling and the icicles are pet, a frozen termination to a relationship we can't defend. We are wrapped in layers of defensive insulation here, too terrified of vulnerability to let each other near. We are hiding in our winter coats, shivering in the snow, waiting for a springtime that we will never know. Yeah, the garments protect us, but they keep us apart. I see a heavy overcoat hanging in the hall, a dark silhouette against the wallpapered wall. The pockets are filled with lint ticket stubs from plays we attended together during our warmer days. I touch the collar gently, but the texture makes me shudder, a woolen reminder of the words we didn't utter. We thought that the protection would endure until July, but summer never happens when the spirits choose to die. The radiator clanks inside the living room tonight, but it cannot alleviate the chill within our sight. We sit across the table with our heavy sweaters on, a pair of Arctic explorers whose compasses are gone. The frost is accumulating on the inside of the pain, a meteorological metaphor of our internal pain. If we took off the garments, we might perish from the cold, so we keep ourselves encased in the fibers of old. The blizzard is howling and the icicles are pent, a frozen termination to our relationship we can't defend. We are wrapped in layers other near. We are hiding in our winter coats, shivering in the snow, waiting for a springtime that we will never know. The padding is thick, but our hearts are freezing cold, trapped inside the stories that we never fully told. Yeah, the garments protect us, but they keep us apart. Cast the scarf into the drift. Do something to accelerate the continental shift. But your fingers are too numb to manipulate the clasp, and my hands are shaking far beyond my normal grasp. So we stay encapsulated in our customized cocoons, underneath the glare of freezing winter moons, so cold, too deep. Go to sleep. We are hiding in our winter coats, shivering in the snow, waiting for a springtime that we will never know. The padding is thick, but our hearts are freezing cold, trapped inside the stories that we never fully told. Protect us, but they keep us apart. Heavy wood, empty soul, freeze. I stood upon the pier, watching the cargo vessels depart, with a heavy nautical compass navigating my heart. You boarded a cruise ship that was headed for the west, to seek a destination where your spirit could find rest. The gap between the hull and the timber grew wide as the vessel was captured by the incoming tide. Your white handkerchief was a speck in the gray before the ocean mistook the vision away. Now I am writing letters that will take weeks to arrive to an overseas address where you were trying to thrive. You send me postcards of palm trees and tropical sand, a stark contrast to this cold and muddy northern land. The geography is vast and the time zones don't align. When it is midnight in your world, it is morning in mine. We are trying to maintain a thread across the sea, but the distance is eroding our common history. The salt water is heating up the cables of our love, and the communication satellites are failing up above. We are two separate islands in infinite blue, losing all the coordinates that connected me to you. We are standing on distant shores, looking out at the main, divided by an ocean of geography and pain. The horizon is a barrier that we cannot cross today, washing all the closeness of our previous life away. Yeah, the water is deep, and the promises are hard to keep. I check the maritime tracking application on my device to see a vessel navigating through the northern ice. You were thousands of nautical miles from this room, living in a climate where different flowers bloom. I wonder if the ocean air has altered your voice, or if your relocation was a permanent choice. I look at the map on my living room wall, realizing that my world is incredibly small. The lighthouse on the cliff throws a rotating beam, an artificial guide for a sailor's broken dream. But it cannot illuminate the space between our souls, or repair the damage of our conflicting goals. You are chasing a career in a metropolitan state, while I am stuck here bargaining with provincial fate. The continental shelf is a physical divide that mirrors the alienation that we cultivate inside. The salt water is eating at the cables of our love, and the communication satellites are failing up above. We are two separate islands in infinite blue, losing all the coordinates that connected me to you. We are standing on distant shores, looking out at the main, divided by an ocean of geography and pain. The horizon is a barrier that we cannot cross today, washing all the closeness of our previous life away. Yeah, the water is deep, and the promises are hard to keep. Swim across the channel, navigate the stormy strait, do something to challenge the maritime fate. But the current is too strong and the distance is too vast, and our physical endurance is failing us at last. So we stand on the beaches at opposite ends of the earth, mourning the relationship that gave us our worth. Lost at sea, you and me, and we are standing on distant shores, looking out at the main, divided by an ocean of geography and pain. The horizon is a barrier that we cannot cross today, washing all the closeness of our previous life away. Yeah, the water is deep, and the promises are hard to keep. Tides roll, vast soul afloat, afloat. I stood upon the pier, watching the cargo vessels depart, with a heavy nautical compass navigating my heart. You boarded a cruise ship that was headed for the west, to seek a destination where your spirit could find rest. The gap between the hull and the timber grew wide as the vessel was captured by the incoming tide. Your white handkerchief was a speck in the gray before the ocean mist took the vision away. Now I am writing letters that will take weeks to arrive to an overseas address where you were trying to thrive. You send me postcards of palm trees and tropical sand, a stark contrast to this cold and muddy northern land. The geography is vast and the time zones don't align. When it is midnight in your world, it is morning in mine. We are separate islands in an infinite blue, losing all the coordinates that connected me to you. We are standing on distant shores, looking out. I dipped the fountain pen into the bottle of black ink and sat beside the desk to give myself a chance to think. The envelope is addressed to your apartment on the hill, where the air is always biting and the wind is always chill. I struggled with the opening, the greeting felt so cold, a stark contrast to stories that we previously told. My handwriting is shaky and the sentences are brief, a summary of modern love collapsing into grief. You always loved the structure of a handwritten note, the texture of the parchment and the poetry I wrote. But this is not a ballad filled with compliments and praise. It's a declaration of the end of all our golden days. I explain the exact moment when the magic disappeared, the quiet realization of the outcome that we feared. No arguments or screaming matches, just a steady decline, a mutual understanding that your path was distinct from mine. The postage stamp is fixed upon the corner of the page, a final validation of our exit from the stage. We are signing off the ledger, closing up the heavy book without a single hesitation or a backward look. These are the last letters that I will ever send to you, a final explanation of the things we couldn't do. The ink is drying slowly, but the meaning is so clear. We ran out of sentences to keep each other near. Yeah, we spelled out our goodbye in a beautiful design. I walked down to the postbox at the corner of the square. The midnight fog is thick enough to choke the heavy air. I hold the envelope above the metal opening slot, reviving every single word and every single thought. Once it drops inside the box, there is no turning back, no way to intercept the mail or alter up the track. It felt like dropping weights into a deep and dark abyss, a tragic conclusion to a love that started with a kiss. I imagine when you receive it on Tuesday afternoon, you slice the paper open with a silver butter spoon. Your eyes will scan the paragraphs I labored to construct, detailing how our paradise was suddenly destruct. Maybe a tear will fall and smudge the signature below, or maybe you'll be relieved to finally let it go. We carved our names in tree bark, but the wood began to rot, and this final correspondence is the only thing we got. The postage stamp is fixed upon the corner of the page, a final validation of our exit from the stage. We are signing off the ledger, closing up the heavy book without a single hesitation or a backward look. These are the last letters that I will ever send to you, a final explanation of the things we couldn't do. The ink is drying slowly, but the meaning is so clear. We ran out of sentences to keep each other near. Yeah, we spelled out our goodbye in a beautiful design. Be heard. Fold it up, seal the bag, let the postman do the chore, because we are not communicating anymore. Dear love, goodbye. Don't cry. That's I will ever send to you. These are the last letters. Explanation of the things we couldn't do. Oh, the ink is drying slowly, but the meaning is so clear. We ran out of sentences to keep each other near. Yeah, we spelled out our goodbye in a beautiful design. Postage paid, memories fade, signed. Signed. I shouted out your name into the cannon deep and wide, hoping for an answer from the solitary side. But the landscape was indifferent to the misery I felt, and the frosty mountain ridges refused to ever melt. The sound of my own voice came bouncing back into my ear, a mockery of passion that was twisted by my fear. You left without a warning on a Tuesday afternoon, leaving a vacant apartment that was cleared out way too soon. The tiles in the bathroom multiply the dripping faucet sound, a watery percussion while I stare upon the ground. Every statement that we made inside this residential space is bouncing off the plaster without leaving any trace. We used to fill the structure with our arguments and cheers, but the frequency is altered over consecutive years. Now the vibration is a hollow and a terrifying thing, like a broken copper bell that has forgotten how to ring. We built a sanctuary out of promises and stone, but the structural integrity has left us both alone. The cavities are wide and the foundations are insecure, and there is no remedy that can make this love endure. We are chasing hollow echoes in an empty corridor, listening for the footsteps that don't walk here anymore. The words are lost their substance, but the noise is staying loud. A ghostly congregation, like a solitary crowd. Yeah, the resonance remains, reminding us of pains. I walked into the valley where we carved our monogram before the river flooded and destroyed the wooden dam. The gorge is full of boulders that have tumbled from the peak, crushing all the flowers that were delicate and weak. I spoke into the cavern just to test the acoustic grace, but the replication process was an absolute disgrace. It distorted all the meaning of the phrases that I chose, turning a confession into a parade of woes. The telephone is silent, but the static is alive, a technological reminder that I bonded, not survive. I listen to old voicemails that you recorded on your device when your tone was full of honey before it turned to ice. The digital compression makes your laughter sound so strange, a robotic variation that emphasizes the change. I disconnect the line because the feedback is too intense, an auditory punishment that defies all common sense. We build a sanctuary out of promises and stone, but the structural integrity has left us both alone. The cavities are wide and the foundations are insecure, and there is no remedy that can make this love endure. We are chasing hollow echoes in an empty corridor, reminding us of pain. With a fabricated shout, you cannot light a fire when the oxygen is out. The acoustic properties of this relationship are dead, and I am drowning in the feedback of the things you said. Hello? Is anyone there? No. We are chasing hollow echoes in an empty corridor, listening for the footsteps that don't walk here anymore. The words have lost their substance, but the noise is staying loud. A ghostly congregation, like a solitary crowd. Yeah, the resonance remains, reminding us of pain.